Facebook Live from Sanshin Zen Community, Bloomington, Indiana. We're going to share the Buddha's Robe Okesa sewing that Kiku-san is currently working on. 7-panel barred stitch Okesa. So let's see. Here's what she's been sewing. Close up. You can see this. Right, this is the back side of the bird feet stitch. It's actually easier to see the pattern, right? Instead of like a front. Yeah, front is like really hard to see. It's just a tiny dot. But so this is, this Okesa is called kasetsu style. Just simply mean that cut up the whole size, big size of fabric into small piece and long piece, and then sew them together. So this the part that the bird stitch is done here. It's like, the upper piece and then the bottom piece is sewn together here, kind of overlapped here. And then first, this is the first stitch to connect upper and bottom part. And then after you're done with this first stitch, you fold over with a little hem, and then fold and then stitch the bottom of the fold like this. Normally, without bird feet stitch, it would just go straight all the way to close, this part. But the bird feet stitch is a variation of open yo. We call this overlap yo in Japanese. So you see that this part, the part of the bird feet stitch is open without, sew this down to the bottom piece of the fabric. And then you still see the stitch. I don't know, it's really hard to see because it's tiny. The stitch is done, on this layer, but without sew the bottom piece together. So it's open. We call it open yo style. And then the bird stitch, this is one of the variation of open stitch. Last time somebody left a comment, on our recording of our Facebook Live, and I was trying to explain him, with the words, but it was a little hard to, do that. It's hard to picture, only with the word. But so this is, we call this overlap yo, and then usually you just sew the bottom, this hem all the way, so I'll say it's closed, But as you see, this is a little opening. In fact, I heard that, at the beginning, when Buddha, it's from, ancient India, Buddha's time, that Buddha asked Ananda to come up with this design of, Buddhist robe. So his group of monks, will be called later, I think, Buddhist monks. Anyway, so it was like a uniform that, people would recognize at a glance that, oh, that's, Buddha disciples. So it's, the structure and all that, way to make it was set in the regulation, called the Vinaya. And then at the beginning, I heard that this part that's now, it's normally it's all, stitched and closed here. It was all open. And I think at least, some people still wearing that style in Theravada tradition. That's what I heard, the open, this part, I told you, Kiku-san. Yeah, and I saw it, somebody showed it to me. Those kind of bright saffron color, gold, yellow, orange-ish, like a tie, and in the Southeast Asia, monks of Theravada tradition wears the Okesa. I think similar style, but I've never really actually took a close look at it. But at least one time I was shown that this part, the closed part, was all open without any stitch. But I think this overlap was also narrower. Probably it wasn't like this wide. Yeah. Anyway, so I think originally it was all open. The overlap. That's why there was no word for like closed and open. And at one point, I think in Vinaya, I don't know exactly when,